Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to UncutAlly. My name's Allie.
Hi, Chris.
My voice.
Oh, gosh.
I'm still getting over the... I'm still getting over the last of my sickness.
Yeah.
I'm like not contagious. It's just, the congestion takes the longest to go away.
Geez.
Also, I just woke up, so my voice is not warmed up at all. So,
so
voice
great.
cracks galore. All right, we're doing uncut advice. You know the drill.
On r/relationship advice.
It's our opinions. We'd love to hear healthy discourse, conversation. That's Canyon, if you don't know Canyon. Canyon, say hi, Canyon.
You can't really see him.
This is him. But, keep it healthy, keep it respectful. We can only go with what we have here.
Yes.
And make assumptions or make theories. This
one's by Itchy Koala.
Oh, I remember the last thing.
Sorry, spin your
Jesus Christ. There's a line between a bad situation and a bad relationship. If it's toxic, unhealthy, abusive, the advice does not stand.
Great.
Eat a dick.
Oh, there he goes.
That's Canyon. Chris.
Okay.
Oh, now you're on mine?
Everybody.
Oh, boy.
This one's I think it's kind of nuanced.
Okay.
I think we're good at nuanced ones sometimes.
Okay.
So, this says, my 23-year-old female girlfriend is mad because I, 24 female,
Yay,
forgot
gays!
to call her pretty. How do I handle this? Wait.
I love the gays.
Oh, it was a typo. The first line says I-24M.
We don't do enough gays.
I know, we should do gays.
We haven't done a gay story.
We need to do a gay story.
Anyway.
Okay, I-24 male came home from work today, greeting my girlfriend as usual, and immediately noticed she seemed upset. I asked her what was wrong, but she just said nothing.
A girl would never forget to tell another girl she's pretty.
No.
Anyway, continue.
I decided to try to cheer her up, maybe cook her favorite meal to brighten her mood, and honestly, as a way to apologize in case I'd unknowingly done something to upset her, or her studies are giving her a hard time. When I told her I'd step out for a bit to grab the ingredients, she said, "I don't want to eat anything you cook." I felt sad for a moment, but I brushed it off and asked what was wrong. She admitted that I forgot to talk to her to tell her that she's pretty today. At first I thought she was joking, but she wasn't. She said that was a valid reason to be upset. I tried to reassure her, but she cut me off. She said it's too late and added, "It's not your fault, I'm not pretty." I went silent and I'm literally speechless. Now she started throwing things, banging doors. Her usual habit when she's upset.
Oh!
It's been like this for years now, even though I kept reminding her that she needs to stop that. Every day feels like walking on eggshells, like one wrong word or missed moment of validation could lead to a meltdown. Even if I'm consistent for a month or more, one slip-up feels like the end of the world to her. Her reasons for being upset feel increasingly trivial, but they always escalate into something bigger. It's exhausting, and honestly, it's taking a toll on me. I have my own mental health issues that I'm also dealing with, and I can't even share because I know she has a lot on her plate. I love her, but living like this, never knowing when or why things will erupt is draining. 5 years of this, and I don't know how much more I can handle.
Oof. This is a very good one for us.
Yeah, and it's kind of nuanced too.
Like because I used to be a toxic little lady. I am a reformed.
Back in my day.
I'm a reformed toxic gal. Does she have bipolar disorder? Step 1, finding out you have bipolar disorder. Because that helped me.
I would guess yes, based on the context, but
blowing up at trivial things is either you're a very toxic person or you're bipolar and have become toxic and don't know how to handle it.
Right. Yeah.
Me.
So the thing is I can see it from both perspectives, especially understanding someone who might have bipolar or have some mental health issues that could be a big...
Yeah.
There's just like a trigger that would set you off, but sucks that she's like throwing shit and being wild.
That's one thing. I don't think I ever threw shit.
No.
I only slammed doors when I would like go dramatically in the room and I'd be like, I did. Now we're exposing me. I would. And here, also for context, they're in their early 20s.
Mid-20.
23 and 24, like the early mid.
Yeah.
I did this behavior at 18, 19.
Yeah. No,
I stopped that shit.
It's true. It's really
about
true.
a year of us working on our relationship. It was not 5 years of me doing that. Like, that's also a big piece of context. Like, I loved you enough that I was like, I need to get my shit together.
Yeah.
And also, I was 18. She's doing this at 23.
Yeah.
And has been doing it since she was 18. That's like if I was still doing it.
Mm-hmm. Clearly, she hasn't had the... I don't know, like, I think he might have been a little complacent, not really telling her how it makes him feel. Because if it's 5 years and it's still happening, I don't think there's a trajectory to it stopping if it's continuing year over year. You know what I'm
and he
saying?
said, he's like, I've asked her to stop.
Yeah, but maybe that's not
Not
all you can just stop that.
Not that we're blaming him.
No.
But, I was saying, I'm exposing myself. I used to do this shit where I'd be like, I'm leaving, and like Chris would have to like physically hold me down from like walking out the door. I wouldn't have left. I wanted the attention. But like also, not to expose family or anything, but like that was an example of attention that a family member had gotten when they were upset. Like they would leave like that. Mm-hmm. So I was like, that's what you do. That's how you get people to apologize, you know?
Yeah.
And like fixing the shit that I was taught is also part of it. So maybe her family has issues, like they throw things and they have anger and don't know how to show it and things like that.
Right.
Not an excuse, just an explanation of why this behavior could start, but it's like your responsibility to work on your shit and to listen to the people that you love to actually become better for yourself, become better for your relationships, and to stop the learned wrongness.
Right. So how should he handle it? I think that's what she should do. What should he do in this scenario? Because I can understand, like, if I'm thinking about us when we first met, if you were like that for 5 years or whatever, and we weren't figuring it out, it'd be really frustrating. I'd probably feel like this guy. Where
well,
like,
you broke up with me.
I know.
3 months in.
Yeah.
He should have broken up with her Like, I hate that you broke up with me. It's like one of the biggest, I think, regrets that you have. But it's honestly, it helped us so much.
There's fast tracks of shit.
It's just like sometimes you don't know the stakes of what you're doing until you're faced with them.
Right.
Like, I faced the consequences of my shittiness, and I was like, oh, I actually want to marry this guy.
Yeah.
Like, I think there might be something wrong with me.
Yeah.
You know? And there's a fine line of that. Like I said, this is for healthy relationships, even though I'm talking about a toxic relationship. But, like, somebody trying to change you is very different than you wanting to progressively change into a better person. Mm-hmm. Somebody telling you to change or, like, isolating you is very different than them being like, you are very toxic. Every conversation is an argument. I can't even, like, hang out with people because I'm anxious about texting you back. Oh, I need to change. Mm-hmm. Rather than, like, you need to text me back. You need to, not hang out with your friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's an unbalance currently, too, because he's dealing with his own stuff, like you said, and he can't
and he doesn't even have her.
He can't even tell her about it, because it's like, geez, she's going through her own stuff, and he doesn't feel comfortable sharing how he's feeling, too.
It is a bad situation all around.
It sucks it's been for such a long time, too.
Yeah, like, sucks. I'm like...
I feel bad for him too, I feel bad for both of them, but it's kind of like a waste of time,
Yeah. So I'm gonna start with what they said the issue was.
Yeah. And
then I'm going to expand into what the issue actually is. So him not calling her pretty, I get it. I'm still a crazy girl, but I was a even crazier girl. And, like, when your self-esteem is so low, you notice shit like that. Like, you're like, he's called me pretty every single day, and he didn't call me pretty today. I must not be pretty today. Like, I see from one crazy girl to another, like, the string of things that you had to tell yourself to get there. And it's so easy to fall into. Like, your mind will just, like, cycle it over and over and over again. So while it is trivial, definitely not worth the reaction it got. But while it is trivial, like, I understand where she's coming from of like that spiral, and I understand from his perspective not even guessing that would send her into a spiral, not even knowing, like, it wasn't even, because it's like you, like, it wasn't even in your mind, you know, like,
I can imagine I'm vibing, like, oh, you want dinner, and you're just like
you gonna be pretty today,
and I'm like, huh?
But like,
yeah,
did he say what his response to that was?
What do you mean?
To not, when she finally told him
What?
that, like, what her issue was?
Well, I was going to read another comment that might help.
Okay.
Because a lot of people say, like, oh my god. I'm sorry, I just read another part of his comment, and he said, I need to plot a way out. So that's not good. He said, we agreed to therapy long ago when this constant need of validation comes up.
Okay.
So that's good. But then he said, I also tried to open up to her that her chronic need for validation isn't normal, but she denied it and told me she doesn't need any validation and she finds it insulting. Up until now, we still haven't gone to therapy.
So they didn't agree to therapy. That's what I'm hearing. He brought it up.
It sounds like she was like, oh, I don't need it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
What did you say, plot my way out?
He was just replying to someone else, and he said, 5 years is already enough. I just need to plot my way out.
See, then why'd you even post?
Yeah.
If you, like, are done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fine to be done, but then why even do all this?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think there's pretty dire stakes, but...
I did ask you a question.
What was your question?
And you were like, maybe this will help. And it was not
It didn't help at all? Okay. My one-track brain was like, must say what I read.
Chris is a sim. His little ADHD brain.
Yeah.
If he has a task, he can't do the next task.
Yeah.
So I will ask him something or say something to him, and if he had a thought, he has to get that thought out before he can even contemplate what I said.
What did he tell me again?
Maybe this will help, not even remotely close to it. I said, what was his response when she told him what her issue was?
I don't remember what it's... Let's see
well, that was me asking you to look at it.
All he said was she started throwing things, banging doors as usual.
No. She said that it was... She admitted that I forgot to tell her that she's pretty today. At first I thought she was joking, but she wasn't. She said that it was a valid reason to be upset.
Okay.
I tried to reassure her, but she cut me off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So cool. It was too late.
Because I was like, what was his response? Was he like, stop getting upset?
No, yeah, it does seem like he was trying to rectify it. Yeah.
Because, like, I've gotten in places where I, like, need you to just tell me how beautiful I am, but I need you to, like, do it a lot, and it needs to seem authentic.
Yeah.
Like, crazy girl, you know? But, like, then throwing things is wild.
That is wild.
Like, that's why I was like, did he not say anything?
So she got pissed.
Yeah. Like, was he like, babe, this is crazy? Or he also didn't say what he said, so he could have, but I'm going to assume he went with the, like, of course you're beautiful. I
didn't realize it.
Looking for my keys, and I didn't, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, sometimes it takes some time to process, you know? Like, I need a minute of, like, being mad at you before I'm like, all right.
He's just a little man.
Yeah. But throwing things is wild.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever thrown something.
No.
I think the worst I did was I was upset that you forgot the Post-it notes that I had left you, because I would leave Chris little Post-it notes when he was in the shower.
Oh my god, that was terrible.
And then I crumpled it.
That was so terrible.
Yeah. But, like, also, in the grand scheme of things,
not that bad.
I feel better.
Yeah. I mean,
again, years ago.
We were like 18, so.
This was years ago, which does not justify it, but it gives some context of, like, I have so grown out of it.
I think it gives context that we can...
You can work on shit.
You can work on shit and, like, love each other and get married one day, even if you're dealing with some issues. And, like, choose
to be better about it. But it hasn't been 5 years. It's been 5 years since that happened. You know what I mean? Like,
we're old.
We're getting there. We're closer to 30. Well, you're closer to 30. I got one more month.
You suck.
I'm 25, by the way. He's 26. For context. Yeah, from a former toxic girl, like, I get it, but that doesn't make it okay at all. I see where her brain is, but 5 years, you need to be able to, like, stop yourself.
Yeah.
Of course I still have those thoughts. Like, that shit doesn't go away entirely. Especially when, in the beginning of it, like, it was hard. So we had this system where I'm like, here's what my brain is telling me to do so that I can get that release out in a healthy way of being transparent with you of like, right now I want to run out the door. And Chris is like, okay, let's talk about that. You know? Like, we turned
Red Link style.
Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't watch Mythical Morning. I almost said Good Morning America.
Morning America.
I'm a Smosh galley, sorry. They don't own Smosh anymore. No, Rhett and Link are great. The fuck was I talking about? Oh, so, like, I turned my unhealthy thoughts into a healthy talking point. Because, yeah, it sucks to have those thoughts, but acting on them is the issue.
Right.
I would tell him, like, I would say, like, hurtful shit to get attention and to, like, win arguments, and it's like, that's hurting him. So I would tell him, I'm like, here's what my brain's telling me. I know deep down I don't feel this way, but my brain is so focused on this right now, it's all I can think about. So we talk about it, and he's like, okay, why are you feeling that way? And then it wouldn't hurt him because I wasn't telling him these things. I was being honest with him and trying to, like, there's a way to be honest with somebody without hurting their feelings.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, I'm just honest. It's like, there's a line to that, you know?
Yeah. If she was like, my brain is telling me to, like, that I'm really upset that you didn't call me pretty today, and it's making me want to do this and this. And he's like, oh, babe, I really didn't mean it. It reframes it that he can respond before it's, like...
An attack. Yeah, like, it's a conversation rather than a fight.
Yeah.
And it helped us so much. So, like, I don't know how open she would be to that, because it's been a while of this, you know?
Yeah.
But... That's a way to unpack toxic behavior, is to still get it out to that person as constructive, as I need help with this issue I'm having. And then you go at it together and are able to, like, process why you feel that way, why you shouldn't do that, and how you can still move forward.
Yeah.
Because then you're not having an argument. Then you're having a conversation, and you're both able to talk your points without it being explosive and blowing up. And it's so much better. Like, we have insanely great communication.
Yeah.
Like, not like tooting our own horns, but that's something that I have not seen in any other couple that I know.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen in any other couple. Like, we have absolutely no secrets. We have great communication. Like, I could tell him just about anything.
Yeah.
And, like, I never have that anxiety of, like, what's this person gonna think, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's something incredible. So, and I hope you have the
celebration. Yeah, of course.
Celebration.
Yeah. I'm happy.
Did you just emote?
Yeah, I guess I am a
Fortnite
sim.
emote?
I guess I'm a sim. Celebrate.
You fully said celebration. Celebration.
Yeah. No, it's
controlling
true.
My Chris robot hit the wrong button.
Yeah. No, you're completely right. Once you frame it in that way, I can talk to you, you can talk to me, and I'm not like, oh my god, I can't believe she said that.
And then it doesn't feel like I'm lying to you.
Yeah.
Because before I would hold it in and be like, I hate that he doesn't know I'm having these thoughts. He would hate me if he knew I had these thoughts. He doesn't. Like, he loves that I'm willing to work on these thoughts. So,
right. So he kicked the camera.
Get your shit together. So that's an option. Yeah. I know it's kind of devolved into, like, us just talking about
this is great advice, though.
Unhealthy things.
How you're breaking down how to potentially deal with the situation.
I've been
like
in her
this.
shoes.
Yeah.
But 5 years is wild.
Yeah, I get why he's looking for a way out.
Like, I was like that for a while, but I was also a teenager.
Angsty teenager.
Yeah. Like, and then I grew up out of it.
Mm.
Fairly quickly, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like, we worked on our shit. I'd say by like the year and a half mark, we were almost as good as we are now.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first year back together was tough because we both had trust issues by that point against each other. I was like, "You're gonna leave me," and he's like, "You're gonna turn crazy again."
It was pretty even, wasn't it?
Yeah, and like Chris just was resistant to being with me, but loved me so much.
It's difficult.
So that was tough of like trying to plead for him to be with me while also like owning my shit and being like, you have to also just want to be with me.
Yeah.
So like we rebuilt a lot, but you have to start, and I don't know if this girl is ever gonna want to start.
Mm-hmm.
If he's been begging and pleading and like, let's go to therapy, like, and she's like, I don't need it, I'm fine. I don't need validation. How dare you say I need validation?
Yeah.
And got mad, but she clearly does.
Mm-hmm.
And then says it's a valid reason to be upset. It is a valid reason to be upset. But you also have to like understand that it's not a valid reason to be upset.
Yeah.
Like, I fully understand. Like, I've been there where you believe it's a fully valid reason. And any reason you have to be upset is a valid reason. That's your life. However, how you go about it is not valid. And how you constructively talk about it with your partner is whether valid or not valid, depending on how you go about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's okay to be upset for things that maybe don't make sense to other people. But you have to have that wherewithal to be like, this might not make sense. But right now, like, you have to accept that you're insecure. She's not accepting that she's insecure.
She's in denial.
She's in full denial. And, like, no growth can happen until you accept your shit. Like, you have to accept that you're having toxic behavior and you have toxic, almost nearing abusive anger tactics. Like, you can't deal with your anger in a healthy way. You have to accept that shit, and that's the only time that you can start being like, what am I doing? How can I change it? And like, don't expect it to be overnight. Like, give yourself some time. And I think if this had happened in year 1 or 2, he would be willing to give her some time too. But 5 years, like, I get why he's done.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, if you keep having the same conversation, if you keep having the same argument, it's clear that that person doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Or doesn't have the ability to care. And, you know, like, sometimes you have to be selfish and be like, I can't stand this anymore. I would say have that conversation for the last time and see if she's willing to do it. Because I always said to Chris, I was like, if you sat down and had the conversation with me that we had when we broke up, I think I would have changed. I don't know, but I think I would have, given how, like, quickly I spurred into action when we did break up.
Yeah.
Because Chris, like, we'd keep having the argument, but I had blinders on about it. Like, I couldn't see that it was the same argument. To me, it was a different issue. And it was Chris. Like, I had an issue with Chris. He wasn't doing things right.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, like, you are making me so anxious and, like, are being very toxic. That night, he, like, took my blinders off. And I was like, oh, fuck. Because every time we reconciled an issue, we never really talked about the bigger issue that we were having so many issues. Where to me, like, it wasn't a big deal, but to him it was. So, like, while I wish we had that conversation before, like, I understand why he was done.
Yeah.
So maybe try being very blunt about it and being like, you are toxic. You have anger issues. And, like, be understanding, like, yeah, I get that you have XYZ mental health thing, or I get that you have this going on, but, like, this shit needs to stop, and we need to actually start making steps to it. I wouldn't even mention leaving, because it seems like she's very insecure. Like, part of me wants to be like, yes, mention leaving because you're being honest, but the other part of me is like, don't, like, this needs to be her decision at the end of the day. She needs to go through with it on her own. And I almost don't want him to say, like, give her an ultimatum, because then it's, like, a spiteful change rather than, like, a, I love you and this needs to change for me. It's like, spell it out without spelling out that you're leaving. It would be my advice. Just, like, so she gets that kick in the ass.
Good
but
advice.
also, like, if she has a shitty reaction, it's your answer.
Yeah.
then you know, like, she's not willing to listen to me. She's not willing to believe in me, listen to me, and work on shit for me.
Right.
She's not prioritizing you in the way that you are prioritizing her at the end of the day. And while it sucks and, you know, people can change and people can grow, they have to show that they're willing to do that first. That was fire.
That was fire, dude. That was fucking fire. that was woo. Celebration kind of thing.
You put in cheat codes?
I don't know. I can't say anything else. I think that was fantastic.
Chris just put in a fucking cheat code over there.
Yeah, I won.
What'd you win?
Your love?
Aww.
But
you gotta say something.
Oh, man.
I'm fucking lost.
yeah, I feel like Allie did a great job of summarizing and saying what these people could do. Definitely, it's almost ultimatum territory. It's time. Have that conversation today.
Oh my God.
I feel like you'll have your answer pretty quick, and then you guys can either move forward or realize you gotta do your own, go your own way. So, I like this one though. Some sprinkles of our situation, some advice. I mean, it was great. So,
I love talking about our breakup. I just feel like
I love breaking.
I don't love that we broke up.
I love breaking up with you.
I just feel like it's very raw how we speak about it. You know, like we're
gives good context.
I'm very honest about the shit I did, and like I think I like it just shows how great of communication we have and how much we've grown past it. You know, like we're very open about the shit that we've been through. We're very open about everything. You know. It's like if you have any questions ever or like want us to expand on things that we touched on or want to hear more of our breakup stories, you know, or the hard work that it took to get to a better place than we had even started at. Like, I love talking about it. I think it's really helpful because people like shun their breakups. And like, if you're not, I don't know, I personally think if you're not able and willing to talk about at least together the shit that you've gone through or like answer questions and like barring like you want your privacy, like that's totally fine.
Yeah. But
if you're not willing to just discuss things and be able to laugh about them and be honest about them, like that kind of screams that you haven't dealt with it, you know? Like we've dealt with our shit. It doesn't hurt me, it doesn't affect me at all to talk about our breakup because we got through it, and that's the biggest triumph, that we got through it together and came out as strong as could be. And I think it was a defining moment in our relationship that made us so strong and made our communication so open and honest. And I don't know, it's just something that I think should be talked about because so many people don't talk about their breakups, that it can help a lot of people. But like, I always am cautious in my advice because we're a success story where we got back together. Most breakups are not going to go that way. Most breakups should not go that way.
Yeah,
we were
true.
Both willing to put in a lot of work. So I'm always very cautionary in being like, this is not what you should expect. If you are expecting to get back together, you're not in it for the right reasons. I wanted to get back with Chris, but every single day I told myself, I'm like, I will not do this for him. I'm doing this for me. Like, I didn't take the blame for everything. Like, he still did shit wrong.
Yeah.
I did fucked up shit, but he still did things wrong that needed to be reconciled, you know? And there were things in the relationship that I had issues with as well. So I still held on to that, and I was like, hey, I know I fucked up, but you need to handle all the shit. You can't just handle the person who did more wrong.
Yeah.
You have to discuss every single thing if you're getting back into a relationship. Every single issue, big to small, has to be owned by the person who fucked up and handled together so that there's compromise if there's a legit reason or like there's a change in a person if there needs to be. Like every single issue, like we talk about the bigger issue because I take the ownership that like most of the reason that we broke up, but like we had to deal with every single issue. I still held on to the shit that he did wrong.
Yeah.
I let go of some of the things that, like, I thought I did wrong and I didn't think I did, but we still talked about them. And he was like, yeah, you know, like, it was totally fine that you did that. I think I was just, like, at my wit's end. And I'm like, yeah. And I own up to the things I did, but you did this. And, like, I really would love to see change in that direction. So make sure that one person's not getting all the blame. Jesus. All the blame. And make sure that every single issue is being dealt with. I know this came off into, like, how to get back together in 101, but...
We should probably do a couple episodes on things like that.
I mean, that's why I like this, because it like, shines through and peeks through in, like, relevant ways.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to just, like, talk about things unprovoked. Like, having this little...
like a story to talk about.
The anchor of, like, the story and giving advice in that way has branched off into us just talking about our breakup. But, like, that's great, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my cautionary tale of whenever I have advice for being reformed toxic lady. Reformed toxic lady. That's not the name of this episode, because this is an uncut advice, but it would be if it wasn't. So yeah, it's just a lot. I love to give the advice and the stories, but you also need to know when one or both of you or all of you are not going to deal with your shit.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not willing to talk to them about something, or they're not willing to change, or vice versa, and when maybe you just weren't compatible, like maybe you let the breakup happen.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I just want to be your friend again. Like, that was the main driving force. Like, I was like, yeah, I'd love to be with him again. But, like, I just miss him. Like, he's a cool fucking dude. Like, I can see myself
hanging with him.
With him. Yeah, like, I would, like, envision, like, you getting another girlfriend and me just being, like, supportive and, like, having you in my life, you know? Of course, I was delusional. Like, I was like, he's going to end up with me anyway. I guess I wasn't delusional.
No, you're realistic, I guess.
But, like, I just missed Chris as a person,
and
I knew I wasn't the person I wanted to be if he wasn't willing to be in my life, because he was somebody that really affected me. Excuse me. Jesus, everything's coming out of me.
My stomach sounds like a mess. It's because we haven't eaten today. I keep gargling and gooping.
Not the gargles and the goops.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a tangent, but have that conversation with your girlfriend is my advice to him.
You'll know within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Quick decisions. Follow your gut. Are we going in the right direction or not? Boom.
And if she's willing to change, give her some time to actually enact it.
Yeah.
Don't expect it to be overnight. Expect, like, a slow progression. But, like, at the very least, she should be receptive to you being like, hey, you're doing that again.
Yep.
Like Chris would tell me, he's like, you're doing toxic shit right now. And I'd be like, all right, let me take a step back.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
Cool.
But you'll know. If you don't already know, it seems like you're out.
Yeah.
But if you really love her and, like, want to give her that one last saving grace of, like, I want this to work, here's all of the shit I need you to change.
Yeah.
Here's all of the shit that you need to handle. Give her that time to actively be doing it. But if you are every day thinking of the second she fucks up, I'm going to break up with her, don't do that. Just leave.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Not worth it.
Don't get her hopes up and see her change and then do it, because then that'll fuck her up more.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was a fun one. That was a really good choice, bub.
Thank you. I thought so, too.
I was looking at the camera. I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, we're off to Disney.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good day. Happy birthday. Love you all. Bye.
Bye, everybody. See you next time.